Well, hello friends, it's Amy Frillici with the Gathering Inkspiration Stamp Studio, and today I want to show you how to make this awesome card. First of all, it has a lot of awesome products that we're using on it, so I'm going to show you those first because I love, okay, let me just show you. I can't even tell you about it, I just have to show you. So here is this awesome tin. It's kind of a, I guess I'm going to say navy blue and copper, if you can see it. The light's a little weird, it looks like, but hopefully you guys can get the idea with this beautiful floral image. And then actually I'm just noticing the outline here is basically the same outline as the punch that is included in this awesome tin. Do you see that outline right there? The shape of it is the same. You're not seeing that, are you? There we go. As on the top of the tin, and then those, like I said, those gorgeous flowers. So okay, let's see what's inside, because okay, let me scoot it out of the way just a little bit so I can get it open. Okay, so here we go. Look at this. So awesome tin that you can repurpose and use for lots of other fun ideas, because you're gonna pull all this stuff out and start playing with it, right? So here's the punch that, like I said, coordinates with that shape right there on the lid of the tin. And then it comes with two ink spots. One is one of our new ink colors, the Grapefruit Grove ink spot, and then the classic Night of Navy ink spot, along with, can you guys see if you don't have clear stamping blocks, this is a great little package to get you started. One of our clear blocks. This is a little bit different than the ones that we sell in the catalog, not quite as thick, a little bit different kind of around the edges, but it's going to work beautifully for this cute stamp set. Let me show you. I'm trying to figure out which way to turn this. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull it out so you can see. So it's a photopolymer stamp set. Can you see these? So we're using the hello. This one says thanks. I don't know if you can see that very well, and it's got some of those really pretty flowers that are also on the lid of the tin. Here's one that says happy birthday friend, and then this one says best wishes. And then, oh, this is cute. Congratulations, rock star. And then a thinking of you. I happen to have the thinking of you when you stamp it and punch it with the coordinating punch. Looks like that. I think that's a little bit easier to see than that guy. So they all stamp beautifully and fit perfectly inside the punch. Actually, let me put those back in there. So with this punch that coordinates with all of them, you can see around, now it's upside down, but the congratulations rockstar has that exact outline that then you can punch with the punch. And you guys, the only way that you can get this darling label punch is in this kit right here. So you buy the tin and you get all of this awesome product inside it, including the punch and the stamp that we're going to use on this card today. So let me show you in the catalog. If you have a catalog, one of our 2018-19 30th year anniversary Stampin' Up! Catalogs, it is on page 44. You can see, so there it shows you again the tin, the stamps, and actually this is great because then you can really see the stamps that are included. The hello, thanks, thinking of you, happy birthday friend, congratulations rockstar, and best wishes. So you see how beautifully they stamp and perfectly they fit inside the punch. So you get everything in that awesome tin, and I cannot wait to find some fun ideas to use that tin for. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm going to give you measurements and then we'll start putting everything together. And I have to tell you, we are using one of our new core colors. This is one of our subtle colors called Balmy Blue. So our card base in Balmy Blue, we start out with the 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. We are going to cut it in half along the 5.5 inch side, right? And then along the cut it in half along the 11-inch side at 5.5, if I said that incorrectly. And then along the 8.5 inch side, we scored it at 4.25 inches to make our nice crisp fold on our card, right? And then we have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that we do our embossing on that measures 4 inches by 5.25 inches. Okay, and then these other two pieces, another piece of Balmy Blue to outline our designer series paper that measures 3.25 by 3.25. And then this super cute designer series paper, this is part of the Tranquil Textures designer series paper because it's got some awesome tranquil texture on the back. So this is Balmy Blue kind of with a wash to it. You can kind of see how nicely that would work together too. Maybe for a baby card or a masculine card. We are using the bubbles on this side. So this piece measures 3 inches by 3 inches, okay? And then we have this strip of, this is Rich Razzleberry cardstock that measures 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4 inches. And then just a piece of Whisper White cardstock to do our stamping for our hello. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot that guy out of the way a little bit and let's go ahead and get started. What do we wanna do first? I think since I have things out, let's go ahead and do our stamping. So we've got our Whisper White piece here and our Rich Razzleberry Ink Pad. Open this guy up. As always, our nice easy tap, tap, tap. You don't wanna press too hard because then you get ink all over places that you don't need it, especially with the photopolymer stamps because they're pretty thin. If you push really hard, you get ink all over your clear block and you just don't need it there. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot that guy out of the way and then I'll show you the Darling Label Punch. I think this is called like the Darling Label Stamp Set too. But again, the only way you can get the stamp set and punch is in that tin. Okay, so we're gonna pop that guy out and he is all set. Let's do the other punch that we need. We might as well do this right now. So with our little strip of 3/4 inch wide Rich Razzleberry cardstock, can you guys see there are a couple of little notches inside there? When you line this paper up, I'm going to set it back down, but when you line it up, because it's meant for a 1 inch wide piece of cardstock, if you line it up evenly and you can see both of those notches, this will come out perfectly, as it did, right, when you make that punch on there. Okay, so now we need to emboss a couple of things. You guys maybe didn't even realize, I'm hoping it shows up in the video. I don't know if you can even hear. Can you hear my scratching? We embossed this piece, our Rich Razzleberry piece, with the new subtle dynamic textured impressions embossing folder. Those are always a mouthful. Subtle dynamic textured impressions embossing folder. So it basically just puts kind of what is the word? I'm drawing a blank, but it just it puts a little bit of texture basically into your cardstock. So you can see it's really kind of flat and matte right now. So let's run this and I'll show you what is going to happen here. Okay, so I've got my Big Shot with my my regular Big Shot platform. We only need one of our clear cutting pads because this is one of those thick dynamic embossing folders. And I'm just going to lay this in here. It really doesn't matter which is up, right side up or not. Sometimes it does, but this time it doesn't, so I'm not even going to worry about that. And then we just put one of our clear cutting pads on top is what you want to do. So you've got your platform, the thick embossing folder with your paper, and then the clear cutting pad on top of it all. So I'm just going to go back and forth so I make sure I get lots of texture on my paper. And can you see? So we used to sell paper that had this texture in it. We don't sell it any longer, but we can make it. So that actually almost feels like the right side for me. That's kind of the top, I guess I'd say, and then that's more of the debossed side. But can you just see that little bit of texture that adds? So just kind of a nice little element there. And then we also need our piece of Whisper White cardstock that we are going to use with our Polka Dot Basics embossing folder. I loved the little dots on here and how they coordinated with the dots on the Designer Series paper that we're using. So now we do need both of our clear cutting pads. So we're going to put one underneath our embossing folder with our cardstock and then another cutting pad on top and run those all on the regular Big Shot platform. Oh, it's like magic. I just love these embossing folders. So as you can see, we just put those little polka dots right there in our paper. So I think we've gotten everything kind of embossed and punched and everything. So now we can start putting things together. So let's go ahead and do that. We are going to add, this is our Whisper White piece. I'm going to put a bunch of adhesive around all of the edges of this cardstock. When you do the embossing, it tends to make it not want to stick to your card quite as well with all that texture. So you want to add a bunch of adhesive all around the edges so you don't get kind of ripples or wrinkles in your paper. Okay. Next, we are going to adhere our Designer Series paper to, oops, I got some adhesive there. I'll have to wipe that off later. You guys probably can't even see that, but of course now everything is going to stick in that spot where I got that adhesive. Of course, and again on this one, I'm going to put adhesive, quite a bit of adhesive around all of the edges of my cardstock, because once I put this on a textured or embossed piece, it likes to pop up a little bit easier. So we added a bunch of adhesive. I'm going to put that guy right there. Next, we can add, nope, we don't want to add. This is what we're going to do now. So we're going to take this strip, and this is our Rich Razzleberry Velvet ribbon. Oh my gosh, I just love this ribbon. We've had so much fun playing with this since it came out in our annual catalog. Let me make sure which side is the right side. It's almost like it honestly doesn't even matter. So I don't think I'm going to worry about it too much. So I'm just going to kind of lay that down on here to measure, and I want to kind of cut this at an angle, just a little bit shy. You know what, I think I wanted to go a little bit shorter. So there we go. Get all those little bits out of the way. And I thought, what do I want to do next? It's funny because we made a bunch of these cards at class the other day, and now I'm trying to remember what were my steps, but I think this is what we're going to do next. So we are going to, this is just a handheld stapler. I'm just going to put a couple of staples, one there, and then maybe one over a little bit and down a little bit lower. So just kind of stagger those staples in there. And then I did just add a little bit of adhesive just to kind of hold. I don't typically do this. I don't like to put adhesive behind my ribbon, but on this one I didn't want it flopping all over the place, so I did. Generally I don't, but I think I'm probably going to cover that up with my punch as well. So now this is when we need to add a bunch of adhesive on this piece because it's textured and now it's got those staples on it. You may even want to use mini glue dots to hold it in place. That would be another great option for you in terms of adhesive. So we're just going to lay that down and we're going to press really firmly because I don't want that piece to come off later. And then the next thing that I did was I added some adhesive. I just kind of ran my snail a couple of times right there. And we are going to take some of, this is the silver and white baker's twine, and we're basically just going to loop this around on here a little bit. And I have to tell you guys, this design, we made a card kind of with this general layout a couple of years ago in class, and actually someone sent it back to me as a thank you or something. So I've kept it on my little bulletin board in my craft room for so long, and every time I look at it, I'm like, that's just the cutest layout. We're gonna have to do a card like that again someday. So today is finally the day. So remember that though too, if you have ideas, you know, projects and things that you've made in the past and you really like them, you can always pull them back out again. They're great for, you know, good layout ideas. They don't have to be, you know, obviously you're not going to use the same products because it might not even be around any longer, but pick out some new products and then it basically looks like a whole brand new card with your new products, even though you're using the same original layout. So you can see I just added some adhesive, loop that around. I just kind of loop it and tack it right on there. And then I put one dimensional just on the top because I kept trying to put another one on the bottom and then it's too thick here. It kept popping up and it was really bugging me. So what I'm going to do, I peeled that off and then I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive just to kind of hold everything down. But I didn't want to use another dimensional because it popped up too far on the bottom. Does that make sense? So then you just put that right on there and that is it. So you've got this super cute card. Can you guys all see that? Hopefully that was in the view. I get so excited and I'm not paying attention to the view of the card. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that card. I hope you all were ink-spired today. Make sure you check out my blog at gatheringinkspiration.com for lots of other tips and tricks and tutorials and ideas. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. I've always got lots of new ideas. We're doing Facebook Live videos every single Friday, for the most part, every single Friday. So check those out on the YouTube channel, the Gathering Inspiration Stamp Studio YouTube channel. And then if you're interested in purchasing any of the products that we used today on this awesome card, especially that new tin with all the fun product in it, you can shop online 24/7 at my website at amysuzanne.stampinup.net. Grab the host code off of my blog at gatheringinkspiration.com. It's on the right-hand side toolbar. And then when you shop, use that host code because you get fun freebies from me when you shop online and use the host code. So thank you so much for watching today. Oh, one more thing to mention. I am doing to-go class to-go kits every single month now. They're also on my Gathering Inkspiration Stamp Studio YouTube channel. So if you enjoy the projects that I make, you're probably going to really enjoy the to-go kit classes as well. So check those out. You can order right online. In the details to that YouTube video, I've got the links for ordering. And then I'll have in the details to this particular YouTube video all of the products that we used on this card along with the item codes. So thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's having a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.